I used to think loyalty meant something in a marriage. That love could survive anything if you held on tight enough. But my wife, my beautiful, brilliant, untouchable wife, taught me a different lesson. She taught me that some people don't want a partner, they want an accessory. And when that accessory stops matching their world, they replace it. She replaced me with a man who fit better, a man who understood her world, a man who wasn't me. What she didn't know, what neither of them knew, was that the mechanic she underestimated had been holding all the cards from the beginning. If you're watching this, subscribe and tell me where you're from. You're going to want to see how this ends. I used to think love was enough. That's the kind of thing a younger man believes. The kind of thing you hold on to when you're 22 and stupid and convinced that caring about someone hard enough will make everything else fall into place. I'm 32 now. I know better. My name is Marcus Hale, and I fix things for a living. Cars, mostly. Sometimes machinery. Sometimes broken furniture that rich people throw away because buying new is easier than waiting for repairs. I run my own operation. Nothing fancy, just me and a small garage I lease on the east side. Good money, honest work, the kind of work where your hands get dirty and you sleep well at night. Eleanor used to say she loved that about me, used to. It's 6 in the morning when I wake up. The bed beside me is empty, but that's normal now. Eleanor's been getting up earlier and earlier these past few months. Corporate life, she says. Big projects, important meetings. I don't question it because questioning things isn't what we do anymore. I pull on jeans and a t-shirt and head downstairs. Our house is the kind of place I never imagined living in. 3 stories, white columns out front, a driveway that could fit 6 cars. Eleanor bought it before we got married, back when I was still getting my business off the ground. Her family money, old money, the kind that doesn't run out. The kitchen is spotless, marble counters, stainless steel everything. I make coffee in a machine that cost more than my first car and stand by the window, looking out at the perfectly trimmed lawn. This house has never felt like mine. I hear her heels before I see her. Eleanor comes down the stairs in a charcoal suit, her blonde hair pulled back tight. She's beautiful in that sharp, controlled way. The kind of beautiful that makes men straighten their ties and women check their lipstick. Morning, I say. She glances up from her phone. Morning? That's it. No smile, no kiss. Just a word tossed in my direction like spare change. She grabs a travel mug from the cabinet and pours coffee without looking at me. Her nails are perfect. Red. They click against the ceramic. Late night? I ask. Networking event, she says. I told you yesterday. She didn't. But I don't argue. How'd it go? Fine. One word. That's all I get lately. Fine. Busy. Tired. Like I'm a stranger asking about her day instead of her husband. She checks her phone again. Her thumb moves fast across the screen, typing something. She smiles. Just a little. Before catching herself and putting the phone away. I should go, she says. Okay. She walks past me without touching. I catch her perfume. Something expensive, something new. The front door closes. Her car starts. I stand in the kitchen alone, holding my coffee, listening to the silence. I spend the morning in the garage. There's a '68 Mustang waiting for me, engine torn apart on the workbench. The owner's some lawyer who bought it for nostalgia and doesn't know a carburetor from a tailpipe. I like these jobs. Quiet, simple. You put the pieces back together and everything works again. If only marriages were that easy. My phone buzzes. A text from my mother. Haven't heard from you in a week. You coming by Sunday? I type back. Yeah, I'll be there. She sends back a heart emoji. My mother learned emojis 2 years ago and now uses them like punctuation. I think about calling Eleanor, asking if she wants to come to Sunday dinner. But I already know the answer. She hasn't been to my mother's house in 3 months. Always an excuse. Work, headache, too tired. My mother never says anything, but I see it in her eyes. The worry, the questions she doesn't ask. I turn back to the engine and get lost in the work. Eleanor comes home late again. It's past 9 when I hear her car. I'm on the couch, half watching a game I don't care about. She walks in carrying her bag and her heels, hair slightly loose now. Hey, I say. Hey. She drops her things on the chair and heads straight for the stairs. You eat? I ask. At the office. Want me to heat something up? I'm fine. There's that word again. Fine. She pauses on the bottom step, one hand on the railing. For a second, I think she's going to say something real, something honest, but she just looks at me with those pale blue eyes and says, I'm going to bed. I nod. She disappears upstairs. I sit there for another hour, not really watching the TV anymore, just thinking about how we used to talk until midnight, about how she used to laugh at my jokes, about how she used to touch my arm when she walked past, just because. When I finally go upstairs, she's already asleep, or pretending to be. I lie down on my side of the bed and stare at the ceiling. Her phone is on the nightstand, screen dark. I don't touch it. I'm not that guy. But I notice things, like how the screen is face down now. It never used to be. Breakfast is the same routine. Her in a suit, me in work clothes, coffee, silence. She's typing on her phone again. Busy day? I ask, always. I sip my coffee. Wait, she doesn't look up. Eleanor, I say. She glances at me. Yeah? We good? It's a simple question, but the way she looks at me like I'm interrupting something important tells me everything. Of course, she says. Why? Just checking. She sets her phone down, folds her hands. This is her business mode, the one she uses in meetings. Marcus, I've been meaning to talk to you. My stomach tightens. About what? She takes a breath, like she's rehearsed this. I think I need some space. The words hang there. Space, I repeat. To think, to figure things out. Figure what out? She looks away. Where we are, where I am, I need clarity. Clarity. Like our marriage is a business problem she needs to solve. Okay, I say. She blinks. Okay? What do you want me to say, Eleanor? I don't know. Something. I set my cup down. Look at her straight. You want space? You got it. She opens her mouth, closes it. I can see her recalculating. This isn't how she expected this to go. I'm not trying to hurt you, she says. I know. It's just complicated. It's not complicated, I say quietly. You're just not sure you want this anymore. Her face flushes. That's not fair. Maybe not, but it's true. She stands up fast, chair scraping. I have to go. She grabs her bag, her phone, her keys, doesn't look back. The door closes. I sit there alone again. And that's when I know. The name comes up casually. We're in the living room that night. She's on her laptop. I'm reading. The TV is on low, some news program neither of us is watching. Julian thinks we should pivot the marketing strategy, she says. I look up. Who's Julian? Coworker. He's heading up the new campaign. Didn't know you had a new campaign? It's been in development for months. She says it like I should have known, like she's been talking about it, but she hasn't. Julian, huh? I say. He went to Wharton, really sharp. Sounds like it. She types something, smiles at the screen. He's helping me with the donor presentation next week, she says. Finally, someone who gets the vision. Finally. That word sits heavy. I go back to my book. Don't say anything, but I'm filing it away. Julian, Wharton, Sharp, gets the vision. I've been married long enough to know what I'm hearing. 2 days later, she asks me to come to a networking event. For closure, she says. We're in the kitchen. She's pouring wine. I'm leaning against the counter. Closure of what? I ask. The campaign. Big donors, board members. She hands me a glass. I want you there. Why? Because you're my husband. It's the first time she's said that word in weeks. Okay, I say. I'll go. She smiles. It doesn't reach her eyes. The event is at some hotel ballroom downtown. Chandeliers, white tablecloths, people in suits that cost more than my monthly rent. Eleanor is in a black dress. Simple, elegant. She looks like she belongs here. I'm in the only suit I own. Charcoal. Off the rack. It fits fine, but I know the difference. So does everyone else. We walk in together. Her hand is on my arm, but it feels like a prop, like I'm an accessory she brought to complete the outfit. Eleanor, a tall white man in a navy suit, waves from across the room. He's got that polished look, clean shave, perfect hair, expensive watch. Eleanor lights up. Julian, so this is him. He walks over, smiling wide, shakes Eleanor's hand, holding it just a second too long. Then he looks at me. You must be Marcus, he says. That's me. We shake. His grip is firm, calculated, the kind of handshake that's supposed to tell you something. Eleanor talks about you all the time, he says. That right? Absolutely. He turns back to Eleanor. Ready for the presentation? As ready as I'll ever be. They laugh, some inside joke. I stand there, invisible. Marcus, you don't mind if I steal her for a bit, do you? Julian asks. Donor schmoozing, you know how it is. I don't, but I nod anyway. Go ahead. Eleanor touches my arm. I'll find you later. They walk off together, side by side, talking low, laughing. I watch them work the room. She introduces him to donors, to board members, to everyone who matters. She doesn't introduce me to anyone. I leave early. Eleanor doesn't notice. I drive home in silence, hands tight on the wheel. Not angry. Not yet. Just awake. I see it now. All of it. The late nights, the distance, the space she needs. Julian. When I get home, I don't turn on the lights. I sit in the dark living room and think about the man I used to be, the one who believed love was enough, about the man I'm becoming. I pull out my phone and scroll through my contacts. Find a name I haven't called in years. Denise Carter, accountant, financial advisor, discreet. We met when I first started my business. She helped me set things up, helped me invest smart. I trusted her then. I trust her now. I text her. Need to talk. Soon. The reply comes fast. Tomorrow. 10 a.m., my office. I set the phone down. Eleanor comes home around midnight. I hear her heels on the stairs. She doesn't check on me. I stay in the dark, thinking, planning. Some men yell when they're betrayed. Some men break things. Some men fall apart. I'm not those men. I'm the kind who waits, who watches, who remembers every detail. I'm the kind who already knows how this ends. Denise's office is small, clean, no fancy decorations, just files and a desk and a woman who doesn't waste time. Marcus, she says when I walk in, it's been a while. It has. She gestures to the chair. I sit. What can I do for you? I lean forward, hands folded, voice steady. I need you to confirm something. Confirm what? That holding I set up 5 years ago, the one under the LLC. She nods slowly. The investment property. Not property, shares. Her eyes sharpen. The company shares. Yeah. She pulls up a file on her computer, clicks through screens. Still active, she says. Still under your name. 33% ownership. And the company? Whitmore Industries. Eleanor's family company, the one her father runs, the one Julian works for. Denise looks at me. You planning something? Just confirming. She leans back, studies me. Marcus, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, I'm not thinking anything, I say. Just want to know what I have. She closes the file. You have leverage, significant leverage. I stand. That's all I needed to know. Marcus, I stop at the door. Be careful, she says. Power moves make noise. I'm not making noise, I say. I'm making a point. I leave. Julian gets fired 3 days later. I don't know the details. Don't need to. Denise handles it. Quiet. Clean. No mess. I'm in the garage when Eleanor calls. Marcus. Her voice is tight. Yeah? Did you hear about Julian? Hear what? He got fired. This morning. Huh, I say. That's rough. Silence. Marcus. Yeah? Did you? She trails off. Did I what? More. Silence. Nothing. She finally says. Never mind. But she knows. I can hear it in her voice. She knows. That night she confronts me. We're in the bedroom. She's pacing. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. Calm. What did you do? She asks. I didn't do anything. Don't lie to me. I look up at her. I'm not lying. I just made a business decision. What business decision? The shares, I say simply. The ones I bought 5 years ago. Remember? You said it was smart. Diversifying. Building something. Her face goes pale. You used your shares to fire Julian. I used my ownership rights to vote on personnel decisions. That's how boards work. You got him fired because. Because what? I stand now, eye to eye. Because he's smarter than me? Because he went to Wharton? Because he gets the vision? She flinches. Marcus, you wanted space, Eleanor. You got it. I walk past her, out of the bedroom, down the stairs. She doesn't follow. I sit in the dark, again, and I wait. Because this is just the beginning. Eleanor doesn't come downstairs. I sit in the living room until the house goes completely quiet. No footsteps above, no running water, just silence pressing down like a weight. Around 2 in the morning, I finally go upstairs. She's in bed, facing away from me. The lamp on her nightstand is off. I can't tell if she's asleep or just pretending. I lie down on my side and stare at the dark ceiling. 5 years ago, when Eleanor's father offered me a chance to buy into the company, I almost said no. It felt like charity, like he was throwing scraps to the poor kid who married his daughter. But my mother raised me smarter than pride. Take what they offer, she'd said, then make it worth more than they thought. So I did. Used every dollar I'd saved, borrowed some, put it all into shares of Whitmore Industries. Eleanor thought it was sweet, her mechanic husband trying to be part of her world. Her father thought it was amusing, probably figured I'd lose it all eventually. Neither of them understood. I wasn't trying to join their world, I was making sure I'd have a say in it. Morning comes too fast. Eleanor is already awake when I open my eyes. She's sitting at the vanity, brushing her hair. Her movements are stiff, mechanical. We need to talk, she says without looking at me. Okay. She sets the brush down, turns. Her face is composed, but I see the cracks, the tightness around her eyes, the way her jaw is set. What you did to Julian was wrong. I sit up. What I did was legal. It was vindictive. It was business. He didn't deserve that. I get out of bed, stand there in my t-shirt and boxers. Didn't he? She stands too. We're 10 feet apart, but it feels like miles. Julian is a good person, she says. He worked hard for that position. I'm sure he did. This isn't about him, it's about you being petty. The word stings. Petty, like what I did was small. Childish. You think that's what this is? I ask quietly. What else would it be? I walk to the dresser, pull out jeans, a shirt, start getting dressed. Marcus, answer me. You want an answer? I turn to face her. Fine. Julian got fired because I have a vote, because I own part of that company, because when they presented his name for renewal, I said no. Why? Because I could. Her face flushes. That's not a reason. Sure it is. I pull my shirt on. You wanted space, Eleanor. You wanted clarity. I'm giving you both. Now you can figure things out without him in the way. He wasn't in the way of anything. Wasn't he? She goes still. I grab my keys, my wallet. Where are you going? She asks. Work. We're not done talking. Yeah, I say. We are. I leave her standing there. The garage is my sanctuary. I lose myself in the work. Oil changes, brake pads, a transmission that needs rebuilding. My hands stay busy. My mind stays quiet. Around noon, my phone buzzes. It's not Eleanor. It's a number I don't recognize. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Hello? Marcus Hale? The voice is male, smooth, professional. Who's asking? Julian Cross. I stop moving, set down the wrench. What do you want, Julian? To talk? We don't have anything to talk about. I think we do. There's an edge to his voice now, the polish cracking. You got me fired, he says. You got yourself fired. Because of what? Because Eleanor and I work together? That's between you and the board. Don't play games. His voice gets harder. You knew exactly what you were doing. Yeah, I say. I did. Silence on the line. You're making a mistake, he finally says. Am I? Eleanor doesn't love you anymore. The words should hurt. Maybe they would have a month ago. But right now they just sound pathetic. That's for Eleanor to say, I tell him. Not you. She told me she's leaving you. My hand tightens on the phone. When? Does it matter? When, Julian? He pauses. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks. While she was still sleeping next to me, still kissing me goodbye in the mornings, still pretending. Thanks for letting me know, I say. Marcus. I hang up, set the phone down carefully, go back to work. That evening, I drive to my mother's house. It's Sunday. I forgot. She opens the door in her apron, smiling wide. There's my boy. Hey, Ma. She pulls me into a hug. She's short, barely 5'3", but her hugs are strong. They always have been. Come in, come in. Food's almost ready. The house smells like roast chicken and cornbread, like home. I follow her to the kitchen. She's got the table set for two. No Eleanor. She's not coming? Ma asks, but there's no surprise in her voice. She's busy. Ma just nods. Doesn't push. That's one thing I love about her. She knows when to let things sit. We eat together. Chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes. Everything tastes like childhood. You look tired, she says after a while. I'm fine. She gives me that look, the one mothers have, the one that sees through everything. Marcus, I set my fork down. It's complicated, Ma. Complicated how? Eleanor wants space. Ma takes a sip of water. Space from what? From me, I think. She's quiet for a moment, then she reaches across the table and puts her hand on mine. Baby, let me tell you something. When a woman says she needs space, what she's really saying is she needs time to justify what she's already decided. I look at her. You think she's decided? I think you already know the answer to that. She's right. I do. What do I do? I ask. You protect yourself. You keep your dignity, and you don't let anybody make you small. I'm trying. I know you are. She squeezes my hand. But trying ain't enough sometimes. Sometimes you gotta decide who you are and stand firm on it. We finish eating in comfortable silence. When I leave, she hugs me at the door. You're a good man, Marcus, she says. Don't let her make you forget that. I won't. And bring me my daughter-in-law next time. She adds, if she's still your wife, she needs to act like it. I kiss her forehead. Yes, ma'am. I drive home slowly, thinking about what she said, about who I am, about what I'm willing to accept. Eleanor is waiting when I get home. She's in the living room, sitting on the couch with a glass of wine. She looks small somehow, vulnerable. Hey, she says. Hey. I sit in the chair across from her, not next to her. She notices. How was your mom? She asks. Good. She asked about you. Eleanor looks down at her wine. I should visit her. Yeah, you should. Silence stretches between us. Marcus, I'm sorry. I wait. About everything. About Julian. About needing space. She trails off. I don't know what I'm doing. You seemed pretty sure last week. I thought I was. But seeing Julian lose his job, seeing you so calm about everything, it made me realize I might be making a mistake. Might be. She looks up. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I lean forward, elbows on my knees. Eleanor, let me ask you something. Okay. Do you love him? Her face goes pale. Who? Julian. No, God, no, it's not like that. What's it like then? She sets the wine down, rubs her temples. He just, he understands things, the work, the pressure, the expectations. And I don't? You understand other things. Like what? Like being grounded, like being real. I almost laugh. So I'm real and he's what? Fake? That's not what I mean. Then what do you mean, Eleanor? She stands up, starts pacing. This is what she does when she's cornered, when the words won't come out right. I mean that with you, I can breathe. But with him, I can be who I'm supposed to be. There it is, the truth. Who you're supposed to be. I repeat. Yes. And who's that? She stops pacing, looks at me. Someone who belongs in that world, someone who fits. And I don't fit. It's not a question. She doesn't answer. She doesn't have to. I stand up, walk past her toward the stairs. Marcus, wait. I stop. Don't turn around. I don't want to lose you, she says, but I don't know how to keep you and still be who I need to be. Then I guess you have to choose. I go upstairs. She doesn't follow. The next few days are strange. Eleanor tries. She makes coffee in the mornings, asks about my day, sits with me during dinner, touches my arm when she passes. Small gestures, little attempts at rebuilding what we had. But I feel nothing. Not anger, not sadness, not even relief, just nothing. It's like a switch flipped inside me. The part that cared, that tried, that believed, it's just gone. On Wednesday night, she tries to kiss me. We're in the kitchen. I'm washing dishes. She comes up behind me, wraps her arms around my waist. Marcus, she whispers. I go still. She kisses my neck. Soft, gentle. I turn around. Look down at her. She's beautiful. I can see that, but I don't feel it anymore. Eleanor, I miss you, she says. I miss us. She leans in. I turn my head. Her lips catch my cheek instead. She pulls back, confused, hurt. What's wrong? She asks. I'm tired. That's it? You're tired? Yeah. I dry my hands, walk past her. Marcus, talk to me. There's nothing to talk about. Yes, there is. You're shutting me out. I stop in the doorway, turn back. I'm shutting you out? I ask quietly. She falters. You wanted space, Eleanor. I'm giving it to you. I didn't mean like this. Then how did you mean it? She doesn't answer. I leave her standing in the kitchen. Friday night, Eleanor has a family dinner, her father's house, monthly tradition, big table, fancy food, the whole Whitmore clan. She asks me to come. Please, she says. It's been months, they're asking. About you. I'll go. She looks surprised. Really? Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should stay home and let her face them alone. But something in me wants to see it. The world she chose over me. The people she wants to fit with. Thomas Whitmore's house makes ours look small. Stone exterior, circular driveway, actual pillars. Eleanor parks, and we sit for a moment. Thank you for coming, she says. I nod. We walk in together. Her hand finds mine. It feels wrong now. Like we're actors playing parts. The dining room is full. Her father at the head of the table. Her mother across from him. Two brothers and their wives. Everyone white. Everyone polished. Eleanor! Her mother stands, kisses both her cheeks. Then looks at me. Marcus, how lovely. The way she says my name, like it's foreign. Good to see you, Mrs. Whitmore. Please call me Catherine. She's said that every time, for 3 years. I still call her Mrs. Whitmore. We sit, Eleanor next to me. Her father studies me from the end of the table. Thomas Whitmore is 62 and looks like money. Silver hair, strong jaw, eyes that calculate everything. Marcus, he says, how's the car business? Good, steady. Still working on that east side garage? Yes, sir. He nods, cuts his steak. Eleanor tells me you've taken an interest in the company. Here it comes. I'm a shareholder, I say. It makes sense to stay informed. Informed is one thing, interfering is another. Eleanor tenses beside me. Dad, he holds up a hand, doesn't look at her, keeps his eyes on me. Julian Cross was a valuable employee, he says. His termination was unexpected. Board decisions usually are. You voted against his renewal. I did. May I ask why? I set my fork down, look him in the eye. Because I could. The table goes quiet. Thomas Whitmore doesn't blink. That's not how we do business, Marcus. Maybe not, but it's how I do business. You're a mechanic. There, it is. The thing he's been thinking for 3 years. The thing he probably said to Eleanor 100 times. I am, I say calmly, and I'm a shareholder. Both things can be true. You have no idea how to run a company. Good thing I'm not running it, just voting. Eleanor's mother clears her throat. Perhaps we should discuss something else. But Thomas isn't done. You married my daughter for her money, he says. Quiet, direct. Eleanor gasps. Dad! It's fine, I say. I stand up, slowly, carefully. Everyone's watching now. Mr. Whitmore, I married your daughter because I loved her. Still do, actually. But love doesn't mean I have to be stupid about business. You taught me that. I taught you? Yeah. When you offered me those shares 5 years ago, you wanted to see what I'd do with them, if I'd waste them or build on them. Well, I built, and now I have a voice. You don't have to like it, but you do have to respect it. I look at Eleanor. She's pale, shaking, slightly. I'm going to head out, I tell her. You stay. Enjoy your family. I walk out. Nobody stops me. I'm halfway home when my phone rings. Eleanor. I let it ring. She calls again. And again. On the fourth call, I answer. What? Marcus, I'm so sorry. For what? Your father being honest? He was out of line. Was he wrong? Silence. Eleanor, answer me. Was he wrong? I don't know, she whispers. Yeah, I say. That's what I thought. I hang up, turn off my phone, drive home to the empty house. And finally, I let myself feel it. Not the anger, the grief. Because the woman I married is gone, and the woman who's left doesn't know who I am, doesn't want to know. She just wants me to fit, and I never will. I don't sleep. I lie in bed and watch the ceiling fan spin, around and around, hypnotic, meaningless. Eleanor doesn't come home. Around 3 in the morning, I get a text. Staying at my parents'. Need time to think. I don't respond. I get up, make coffee, sit in the dark kitchen and wait for sunrise. When light finally breaks through the windows, I feel something shift inside me. Not relief, not peace, just clarity. I know what I have to do. Monday morning, I call Denise. I need papers drawn up, I tell her. What kind of papers? Divorce. She's quiet for a moment. You're sure? Yeah. Okay, I'll have them ready by Wednesday. Make it clean, fair. I don't want her money. Marcus, you're entitled to. I don't want it, I say firmly. She can keep the house, keep everything. I just want out. What about the shares? I think about that. The leverage I have, the power I could use. I keep those, I say. Everything else is hers. All right, I'll draft it. Thanks, Denise. I hang up and go to work. Eleanor comes home Tuesday night. I'm in the garage, organizing tools I don't need to organize, just keeping my hands busy. I hear her car, hear her footsteps. She appears in the doorway, silhouetted by the kitchen light behind her. Marcus? I don't look up. Yeah. Can we talk? Sure. She steps inside, wraps her arms around herself like she's cold, even though it's warm. I spoke to my father, she says. Okay. He apologized for what he said. Did he mean it? She doesn't answer. I set down the wrench I'm holding, finally look at her. Eleanor, why are you here? I live here. That's not what I mean. She steps closer. I want to fix this. Fix what? Us. I shake my head slowly. There's no us to fix. Don't say that. It's true. No, it's not. We just need to. What? I interrupt. Try harder, communicate better, go to counseling. Yes, any of that. All of it. I lean against the workbench, cross my arms. Let me ask you something, I say. When you told Julian you were leaving me, was that before or after you asked for space? Her face goes white. How did you? He called me, told me everything. She closes her eyes. Marcus, before or after, Eleanor? Before, she whispers. I nod, not surprised, just confirmed. So when you asked me for space, you'd already decided. You just needed time to figure out how to do it without looking like the bad guy. It wasn't like that. What was it like then? She opens her eyes. They're wet now. I was confused. I am confused. About what? About whether I can be who I'm supposed to be with you. There it is again, I say quietly. Who you're supposed to be. Not who you want to be. Who you're supposed to be. What's wrong with wanting to fit in? Nothing. Unless you have to erase parts of yourself to do it. I'm not erasing anything. No, you're erasing me. The words hang there. She wipes her eyes. That's not fair. Maybe not, but it's honest. I push off the workbench, walk past her toward the house. Where are you going? She asks. Inside, I'm tired. Marcus, please, just tell me what you want. I stop. Turn back. I want you to be honest with yourself about what you really want, about who you really want. And then I want you to stop pretending we can go back to something that never really existed. We were happy once. Were we? Or were you just good at pretending? She doesn't answer. I go inside, leave her in the garage alone. Wednesday morning, Denise calls. Papers are ready. I'll come get them. I drive to her office. She hands me a manila folder. You should have a lawyer look at this, she says. Make sure it's what you want. It is. She studies me. You seem calm. I am. That's either very healthy or very dangerous. I almost smile. Maybe both. I take the papers home, set them on the kitchen table. Don't open them, just leave them there, waiting. Eleanor finds them that night. I'm upstairs when I hear her come in, hear her stop in the kitchen, hear the rustle of paper. Then silence. Long, heavy silence. She comes upstairs slowly, stands in the bedroom doorway. The folder is in her hand. What is this? She asks. I'm sitting on the bed, putting on my shoes. You know what it is. You want a divorce. Yes? Her voice cracks. Why? I look at her. Really look at her. This woman I've loved for 5 years. This woman I thought I'd grow old with. Because you don't want to be married to me anymore, I say simply. And I'm tired of pretending that's not true. I never said that. You didn't have to. She steps into the room, sets the folder on the dresser. Marcus, I made mistakes. I know I did. But that doesn't mean we have to end this. What do you want from me, Eleanor? I want you to fight for us. Fight for us? I stand up. I've been fighting For months, every time you came home late, every time you looked at your phone and smiled, every time you called him instead of me, I fought by staying, by trusting, by believing you when you said it was just work. It was just work. Don't lie to me now. Not now. She sits on the edge of the bed, covers her face with her hands. I didn't sleep with him, she says through her fingers. I know. She looks up. You do? Yeah, because if you had, you'd be gone already. You'd have left and not looked back. But you didn't. You stayed. Not because you love me, but because you're scared. Of what? Of being wrong. Of making a mistake you can't fix. Of becoming the villain in the story. She stares at me. You wanted me to be the bad guy, I continue. That's why you pushed for space. That's why you flaunted Julian. You wanted me to yell, to throw things, to give you a reason to leave. That's not true, isn't it? She looks away. I sit down next to her, not close, just near. Eleanor, I don't hate you, I say quietly. I'm not even that angry anymore. I'm just done. We can fix this. No, we can't. Why not? Because you're ashamed of me. I'm not. You are. I keep my voice gentle. Not of who I am, but of what I represent. The mechanic. The blue-collar guy. The one who doesn't fit in your father's world. You've been trying to make me into something else since we got married, and I'm tired of failing that test. Tears roll down her cheeks now. I just wanted us to belong together. We did belong until you decided we didn't. I stand, walk to the door. Take your time with the papers, I say. No rush. I'll sleep in the guest room tonight. Marcus, I stop. Don't turn around. I do love you, she says. I know, I say, but not enough. I leave her there, crying in the bedroom we used to share. The next few days are strange. We exist in the same house but live separate lives. I see her in the mornings. She sees me at night. We move around each other like ghosts. She doesn't sign the papers, but she doesn't throw them away either. They sit on the kitchen table, untouched, a quiet ultimatum. Friday afternoon, my phone buzzes. It's not Eleanor. It's Julian. I almost don't answer. But curiosity wins. Yeah? Marcus. His voice is different now, smaller. I need a favor. You're kidding. Please just listen. Against my better judgment, I do. I can't find work, he says. Every place I apply, they see I got fired from Whitmore and they ghost me. Your vote destroyed my reputation. That's unfortunate. I have bills, rent, a car payment. I'm drowning here. What do you want me to do about it? Help me. You have connections. You have power. One word from you and what? Everything goes back to normal? Yes. I almost laugh. Julian, let me explain something to you. You made a choice. You chose to get involved with my wife. Maybe nothing physical happened, but emotionally, you were there, right where I should have been. She came to me. I don't care who came to who. You knew she was married. You knew what you were doing. And you did it anyway. I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry there were consequences. But you're not sorry for what you did. Silence on the line. Don't call me again, I say. I hang up, block the number, and feel absolutely nothing. Saturday morning, Eleanor finally talks to me. She comes into the garage where I'm working on the Mustang, stands there in jeans and a sweater, hair down, no makeup. She looks younger like this, more like the woman I married. Can I ask you something? She says. I wipe my hands on a rag. Sure. Do you regret marrying me? I think about that. Really think. No, I say honestly. I don't regret it. I learned a lot about myself, about what I'm willing to accept. And what's that? That I'd rather be alone than be someone's second choice. She flinches. I didn't mean for it to be like this, she says. I know. I really did love you. Past tense. She nods slowly. Yeah, past tense. It's the most honest she's been in months. I'm going to sign the papers, she says. Okay, but I need you to understand something first. What? She steps closer. You're a good man, Marcus. Maybe the best man I've ever known. This isn't about you not being enough. It's about me not being brave enough. Brave enough for what? To stand up to my father, to my world, to all the expectations. She swallows hard. I'm a coward, and you deserved better than that. I don't disagree. I'm sorry, she whispers, for everything. Me too. She turns to leave, stops at the door. For what it's worth, she says, Julian meant nothing. Not really. He was just easier. Easier than what? Than fighting for something real. She walks away. I go back to the engine. Sunday. I visit my mother again. She takes one look at me and pulls me inside. What happened? She's signing the papers. Ma nods. Doesn't look surprised. How do you feel? Relieved, sad, empty? All at once? Yeah. She makes tea. We sit at her kitchen table, the same table where I ate, growing up, where I did homework, where I learned to be a man. Your father would be proud of you, she says. Why? Because you didn't lose yourself. You could have gotten mean, could have gotten violent, could have made her life hell, but you didn't. I thought about it. I know, but thinking ain't doing. She pours the tea. What now? She asks. I move on. To what? I don't know yet, but something better than this. She reaches across and squeezes my hand. You're going to be fine, baby. Better than fine. I want to believe her. Monday, Eleanor signs the papers. I come home from work and find them on the table. Her signature neat and final. There's a note. Marcus, I signed everything. The house is yours. I'll be out by the end of the week. Take care of yourself. E short. Clean. Very her. I pick up the papers. Feel their weight. 5 years of marriage reduced to 20 pages. I should feel something. Victory. Sadness. Anger. But I just feel tired. Wednesday morning, I wake up and she's gone. Her closet is empty. Her bathroom cleared out. Even her coffee mug is missing from the cabinet. The house feels bigger somehow. I make coffee, sit in the kitchen, look at the empty chair across from me. My phone buzzes. It's Denise. Papers filed, it's official. You okay? I type back, yeah. I'm good. She sends back a heart. I finish my coffee and go to work. Thursday night, I'm in the garage when I hear a car. Not Eleanor's. Something else. I walk outside and see my mother's old sedan pulling into the driveway. She gets out carrying a casserole dish. Ma, what are you doing here? Bringing you dinner. You need to eat. She pushes past me into the house, starts unpacking food in the kitchen like she owns the place. Ma, sit down. I sit. She makes me a plate, sits across from me while I eat. How are you really? She asks. I'm okay. Marcus. I set my fork down. I'm sad and relieved and guilty for being relieved. That's normal, is it? Baby, you can love someone and still know they're not right for you. That's not wrong. That's wisdom. I eat in silence for a while. You know what the worst part is? I finally say. What? I still love her. Even after everything. I still love her. Ma nods. Love doesn't stop just because it should. Takes time. How much time? However long it takes. She stays until I finish eating, does the dishes, even though I tell her not to, hugs me at the door before she leaves. You're going to be fine, she says again. I know. You believe that? I'm starting to. She kisses my forehead and drives away. I go back inside, to the empty house, and for the first time in months, I sleep through the night. 3 weeks pass. I fall into a new rhythm. Wake up, coffee, work, gym, home, sleep, repeat, simple, clean, mine. The house feels different now. Less like a museum I'm visiting, more like a place I actually live. I buy groceries I like, watch shows Eleanor hated, leave my tools on the kitchen counter overnight. Small freedoms, but they matter. My mother comes by twice a week, always with food, always with questions I don't want to answer but do anyway. You seeing anybody? She asks one Thursday evening. Ma, it's been 3 weeks. I'm not saying marry someone, I'm saying get out of this house. I get out, I work. That's not what I mean. I know what she means, but I'm not ready. Not for dates, not for small talk, not for pretending I'm over something I'm not. Give me time, I tell her. She doesn't push. A month after Eleanor leaves, I see her. I'm at the grocery store trying to figure out which pasta sauce doesn't taste like cardboard when I hear her laugh. That specific laugh, the one she does around other people. Bright, controlled, perfect. I look up. She's 3 aisles over. I can see her through the gaps in the shelves. Blonde hair pulled back, expensive coat, holding a basket with barely anything in it. She's not alone. There's a man with her, not Julian. Someone new, tall, white, suit even on a Saturday. He says something. She laughs again, touches his arm. My chest tightens, not with jealousy, with something else, something sadder. She moved on fast. I turn my cart around, take a different aisle, leave without the pasta sauce. That night, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about her laugh, about the way she touched that man's arm, the same way she used to touch mine. Was any of it real? Did she ever actually love me, or was I just convenient until I wasn't? I get up, make coffee even though it's midnight, sit in the dark living room. My phone is on the table. I pick it up, scroll through old photos. There we are on our wedding day. Her in white, me in a rented tux, both smiling like we'd figured something out. There we are on vacation, beach behind us, her arms around my neck. There we are in this very living room. Christmas. Morning. Wrapping paper everywhere. When did it stop being real? Or was it ever real at all? I delete the photos, all of them, one by one, until my phone is empty and I can breathe again. 6 weeks after the divorce, Julian shows up at my garage. I'm under a Honda Civic when I hear footsteps. We're closed, I call out. Marcus, I know that voice. I roll out from under the car, stand up, wipe grease from my hands. Julian looks different, thinner. His suit isn't as crisp. His face has a tightness to it. What do you want? I ask. To apologize. Okay, you apologized. You can go now. Please, just hear me out. I lean against the workbench, cross my arms. You've got 2 minutes. He takes a breath. I was wrong. About Eleanor. About everything. I thought I was helping her. Thought I was giving her what she needed. But I was just making things worse. And? And I'm sorry. I destroyed your marriage. I destroyed my career. I destroyed everything. You didn't destroy my marriage, Julian. It was already broken. You just made it obvious. He looks down. She doesn't talk to me anymore. That's between you and her. I know. I just... He trails off. I thought we had something real. But the second things got hard, she disappeared. Like I never existed. I almost feel bad for him. Almost. Julian, let me tell you something. Eleanor doesn't want real. She wants easy. She wants someone who fits. Someone who doesn't challenge her world. That wasn't me. And it wasn't you either. It's whoever she thinks will make her father happy. She told me she loved me, he says quietly. She told me that too. He looks up. Did she mean it? I don't know. Maybe in the moment, but Eleanor loves ideas more than people. The idea of us, the idea of you, not the actual work of being with someone. He nods slowly. I'm sorry, he says again. I know. Can you forgive me? I think about that, about forgiveness, about letting go. Yeah, I say. Finally. I can. He looks surprised. Really? You didn't ruin my life, Julian. You just showed me who I was married to. That's worth something. He extends his hand. I shake it. Take care of yourself. I tell him. You too. He leaves. I go back to work. And I realize something. I'm not angry anymore. Not at him. Not at Eleanor. Not even at myself. I'm just done carrying it. 2 months after the divorce, I meet someone. Not romantic. Just someone. Her name is Angela. She brings her car in for an oil change, an old Toyota with 200,000 miles on it. Think she's got another 50,000 in her? She asks. Easy, these things run forever. She smiles. She's pretty, brown skin, natural hair, warm eyes. You're not going to try to sell me a bunch of stuff I don't need, are you? Nope, just the oil change. Good. I've had bad luck with mechanics. Well, I'm trying to change that reputation. She laughs. Real laugh, not performance. We talk while I work. She's a teacher, third grade, loves her job, but the pay is garbage. Sounds familiar, I say. Different field, same struggle. You like what you do? She asks. Yeah, I do. That's rare. Most people I know hate their jobs. What about you? I love mine. Kids are honest. They don't play games. Unlike adults. Exactly. When the car is done, she pays cash. Tips me even though I tell her she doesn't have to. You did good work, she says. That's worth something. She leaves. I don't get her number. Don't ask for it. But I think about her the rest of the day. About how easy it was to talk to her. How normal. How different from Eleanor. She comes back 2 weeks later. Something's rattling, she says. Under the hood. I check it out. It's a loose bolt. Takes 30 seconds to fix. No charge, I tell her. Come on, let me pay you something. It was 30 seconds. Then let me buy you coffee. I look at her. She's smiling, friendly. No pressure. Okay, I say. We go to a diner down the street, sit in a booth by the window, order coffee that tastes like burnt water. So, she says, tell me about yourself. Not much to tell. Everyone says that, but it's never true. What do you want to know? Are you married? Straight to it. I respect that. Divorced, I say. Finalized 2 months ago. Recent. How are you handling it? Better than I expected. That's good. She sips her coffee. Kids? No, you? 32 kids every year, new batch. I laugh. That counts. We talk for an hour about work, about family, about life. She doesn't ask about Eleanor, doesn't pry, just listens when I mention her briefly and moves on when I do. When we leave, she touches my arm. Thanks for the coffee. You bought it? Still, thanks for the company. She gets in her car and drives away. I stand there for a moment, feeling something I haven't felt in a long time. Hope. 3 months after the divorce, I run into Eleanor again. This time it's not an accident. She calls me. Can we meet? She asks. Just to talk? I think about saying no, about keeping the distance, about protecting myself, but something in her voice sounds different, smaller. Okay, I say. Where? The coffee shop, near the house. Our coffee shop, the one we used to go to on Sunday mornings. I almost change my mind, but I don't. She's already there when I arrive, sitting at a table in the back, same blonde hair, same perfect makeup, but something's different in her eyes. I sit down across from her. Hey, she says. Hey. We're quiet for a moment, the weight of everything between us. How are you? She finally asks. Good. You? I'm okay. Silence again. Why did you want to meet? I ask. She looks down at her coffee. I've been thinking about us, about what happened. Okay. I was wrong, Marcus, about everything. You said that before? I know, but I don't think I really understood it until now. I wait. I saw you, she says, about a month ago, at the grocery store. So she saw me too. I was with someone, she continues, and I saw you walk away, and I realized something. What? That I traded something real for something easy, and now I have nothing. What happened to the guy? He wasn't you. Eleanor, I'm not asking for another chance, she says quickly. I know that's not possible. I just wanted you to know that I know. I know what I lost. I know what I threw away. And I'm sorry. I look at her. Really look at her. She's crying. Quietly. Tears rolling down her perfect cheeks. Part of me wants to comfort her. That's who I am. Who I've always been. But another part of me knows that's not my job anymore. Thank you for saying that, I tell her. Do you forgive me? Yeah, I do. Really? Really? But forgiving you doesn't mean I want you back. She nods, wipes her eyes. I know. We sit there for a few more minutes, not talking, just existing in the space we used to share. You seem different, she says. I am different. Better? Yeah, better. She smiles, sad but genuine. Good. You deserve that. So do you. Maybe one day. She stands. I stand. For a second, I think she's going to hug me. But she doesn't. She just looks at me one last time. Goodbye, Marcus. Goodbye, Eleanor. She walks out. I sit back down, finish my coffee, and I don't feel sad. I feel free. 4 months after the divorce, Angela and I go on a real date. Dinner. Nothing fancy. Italian place downtown. She wears a blue dress. I wear slacks and a button-up. We both look nervous. This is weird, she says. Good weird or bad weird? Good weird. I haven't done this in a while. Me neither. We order food, talk about everything and nothing. She tells me about her students. I tell her about the cars I work on. Do you miss being married? She asks. I think about that. Honest. I miss having someone, but I don't miss who I was when I was married. Who were you? Small, trying to fit into a space that wasn't made for me. She nods. I get that. What about you? Ever been married? Engaged once. Didn't work out. What happened? He wanted me to be less black. The words land heavy. I'm sorry, I say. Don't be. I learned early. Some people want you to shrink, and I'm not built for that. Neither am I. She smiles. I know. That's why I like you. We finish dinner, walk to her car. I had fun, she says. Me too. Can we do this again? Yeah, I'd like that. She leans in, kisses my cheek, soft, brief. Good night, Marcus. Good night, Angela. She drives away. I stand there under the streetlight, smiling. For the first time in months, I'm not thinking about Eleanor. I'm thinking about tomorrow. 6 months after the divorce, I see Eleanor one last time. Not on purpose, just life. I'm leaving the hardware store. She's going in. We stop, face to face on the sidewalk. Marcus, she says. Eleanor. She looks different, hair shorter, less makeup, softer somehow. How are you? She asks. Good, really good. You? Getting there. We stand in awkward silence. I saw your mom last week, she says, at the market. Yeah? She was kind, said hello, didn't have to. That's her. Tell her I said hi. I will. More silence. You look happy, she says finally. I am. I'm glad. She means it. I can tell. Take care of yourself, Eleanor. You too. We walk past each other, and I don't look back. 1 year after the divorce, I wake up in my house. Not Eleanor's house. Not our house. My house. I bought out her share. Changed some things. Made it mine. The coffee tastes better now. The silence feels peaceful instead of empty. My phone buzzes. It's Angela. Morning? Still on for tonight? I smile. Yeah. Pick you up at 7. She sends back a heart emoji. We're taking it slow. No rush, no pressure, just seeing where it goes. And for the first time in years, I'm not worried about fitting somewhere. I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. I'm just being me, and that's enough. Some mornings, I drive past the old neighborhood, past the places Eleanor and I used to go. I don't do it to torture myself. I do it because I can. Because those memories don't hurt anymore. They're just part of the story. The chapter that had to end so a new one could begin. One Saturday, I see Eleanor's car parked outside a cafe. I don't stop. Don't slow down. Just keep driving. And as I pass, I catch a glimpse of her through the window. She's alone, looking at her phone, coffee getting cold. She glances up. Our eyes meet for half a second. She doesn't wave. Neither do I, but I see it in her face. Recognition, regret, understanding. She knows what she lost, and I know what I gained. I drive away, back to my life, my shop, my peace. Back to Angela, who texts me pictures of her, students' artwork. Back to my mother, who still brings casseroles every week. Back to myself, the man I was always supposed to be, not Eleanor's husband, not the guy who didn't fit, just Marcus, mechanic, son, man who knows his worth. And that's more than enough. Late that night, after Angela goes home and the house is quiet, I sit on the back porch. The stars are out. The air is cool. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. I open it. I hope you're happy. You deserve it. I stare at the message for a long time. Then I delete it. Not out of anger, not out of pain, just out of choice, because I get to decide what stays in my life now, and she's not part of it anymore. I look up at the stars. Think about the man I was a year ago, broken, confused, trying to hold on to something that was already gone, and the man I am now, whole, clear, building something new. The quiet wins aren't loud. They don't come with applause or validation. They come in moments like this, when you realize you survived, when you realize you're better for it, when you realize that being underestimated was the best thing that ever happened to you, because it forced you to see yourself clearly and to choose yourself every single time. I finish my drink, go inside, lock the door behind me. Tomorrow, Angela and I are having brunch. My mother's coming too. They've never met. It feels right, like building something real this time, something that doesn't require me to be smaller. I get into bed, my bed, in my house, and I sleep, deep, peaceful, whole. Some mornings, Eleanor still sees my car on the street, parked outside the cafe, or the grocery store, or just driving past, and I know, somewhere in her perfect life, she remembers. The man she underestimated, the man who never raised his voice, the man who walked away with his dignity intact, the man who chose himself. And every time she sees that car, she knows. She chose wrong, and I chose right. The end.